Hi everyone, back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a match preview for Newcastle United's upcoming game this Tuesday night, 7:30 against Everton. That's right, we're back at St James's Park. Only feels like 5 minutes ago we were winning this West Ham game 4-3, but we're back in such a short period of time, this busy Easter period. So we're going to get stuck right into this, talk about the lineup, talk about how we think the team is going to look, how it probably will look given injuries and suspensions and everything else, talk a little bit about the game and what we think the result is going to be as well. Just before we do, a little reminder, if not already, click subscribe. I'd love you to come and join us. We're so close to the 7,000 sub mark. I think we're within 70 now. So if you haven't already, smash that button. Recommend us to family and friends. You won't regret it. It's all free content and Evermore. But if you do want to give a bit back to the channel, there is a membership option there too. We just love giving you this great Newcastle United content. We are still very much a baby in the whole world of this YouTube world. We've only been going a couple of years plus, I think. So to get to where we've got to in such a short period of time is a massive appreciation to you guys who smashed that button. But we are just beginning. So why not help get us to that next milestone? So, like I say, 5 minutes ago, my God, West Ham, Newcastle, 4-3 to the tune. Unbelievable scenes. Me and Mark will be going through this on what's going on this evening because you're watching this Monday morning. But the good, the bad, and the ugly of that game, there was plenty of that as well. But the good was obviously winning that game, getting those 3 points, taking us to 8th in the table, starting this run of 10 games in the best way possible with a victory. And we'll have to follow this up against Everton and St James's on Tuesday night. Loads of injuries, loads of team news and problems as well. Obviously, the injuries to Jamal Lascelles, Mickey Almiron in the West Ham game, the crazy late red card for Anthony Gordon, which was 2 yellows, means he's suspended for this game. So there is going to have to be some changes. Loads of people are knackered. The squad is wafer thin, and we knew that anyway. But this is how we think the guys are going to line up. And as you can see, Mark has been playing with some of his toys. Where does he get these wonderful toys, as the Joker once said? But look at this great lineup that Mark's pulled up here. Buzzing on this. Love this. Great new look. Massive credit to producer Mark in the background there. But this is how I think we are going to line up. And Eddie Howe is the manager, in case you didn't realise that. There he is in the bottom corner. He's not playing left back to help Lewis Hall out. No, he is the manager, in fact. So this is how we think we're going to line up. Martin Dubravka in goal, pretty much because there's no other option. Dubravka will be getting heavily criticised from us on what's going on, believe you me, especially Mark being a goalkeeper, has plenty to say about old cracker hands Dubravka, because shocking performance against West Ham, in my opinion. But we'll get into that this evening. I won't get into that too much now. But he will start this game across the back four. Now, Kieran Trippier has a chance to get back into this squad. I mean, I think he was back in and amongst the squad for the West Ham game. But that came a little bit too early from, Kieran Trippier. Knowing Trips will probably want to step in and help out. Tino Livramento rolled his ankle. It was a bit of a nasty looking one as well, to be fair, which was a real shame because, getting Tino back and having him in full flow up and down that line as he is such an asset. And to have him roll his ankle again is a nightmare. Hopefully Tino might be fit for this game, but it's not looking very good at the minute. Maybe Trips will come back in, but we've gone with Emil Kraft at right back, mainly because he's the fittest one out of the lot of them, I suppose. Kraft was pretty shit when he come on against West Ham, suffice to say, especially when he got hooked off. The sub was substituted. That's never a good feeling for a professional footballer. But it was the wrong substitution in the first place. He should have brought on Lewis Hall when the injury to Lascelles went in, and he didn't do it. And I think he readdressed that balance later on. And unfortunately for old Krafu, he was a victim of that kind of wrong being put right, so to speak. But I think Kraft's got a good chance of starting this game, just given the injuries to everybody else. So we've got him in at right back. Fabian Schär, Dan Burns continuing centre half. I think Dan Burn looked way more comfortable at centre half against West Ham when he moved in there. His strengths were there. He was good in the air. He was strong. His position sense was quite good as well. He didn't seem to be as exposed as he is at left back. So, it was really good to see Dan Burn in that position. I just felt he looked way more natural. And we've gone for Lewis Hall having to start. For the love of Christ, Eddie, I'm recording this on Easter Sunday. So Christ is very relevant. Please, Eddie, play this lad at left back. He was brilliant when he came on at the weekend. He was sensational. He was up and down that flank. A modern day left back, that's exactly the kind of way a modern day wing back plays. You think of the likes of Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, shady defending aside for Trent. That's the modern day full back. Kieran Trippier is a great example of it as well. Lewis Hall looked fantastic when he come on against West Ham. Defensively, looks like he sorted out his problems as well. And he's got a wand of a left peg and that pace to get them down the line. Please, Eddie, please play Lewis Hall at left back. We're begging you. We're begging you, mate. Surely, even at the weekend, you can say the lad's ready to start games. Come on, Eddie. Do the right thing. So in midfield, we've gone for Bruno Guimaraes. Joe Willock, who didn't have a great game against West Ham. I think Joe's very much trying to find his fitness and his form again. Joe Willock is an intense player that relies on that turn of speed that he has. And I think he is just struggling to get back to his top level because he's come back quick from an injury. And it's going to take him time to get there, but these games are so big, we maybe don't always have time. But I've started Joe Willock on the left-hand side because I just think he offers more than Sean Longstaff in midfield at the minute. We brought Elliot Anderson into the start. Now, I don't know whether Eddie will do that. I think he should do that because we need to start this game like we want to win this game. We should not be chasing a game yet again like we were against West Ham. If we're chasing another game, we maybe don't get back in it, maybe don't get the rub of the green, like we did get against West Ham at the weekend. We have to hit this game hard with the best possible 11 we can have to get in front and be comfortable in this game. And for me, that involves Elliot Anderson. He was brilliant when he come off the bench. His physicality as well. He's filled out as a man as well. Anyone who can shove Mikel Antonio on their arse, he's built like a fucking heavyweight boxer. And Anderson shoved him on his arse. He was flying into players. He was winning the ball. He was making things happen in midfield. He's such a good player, and he really deserves this chance to start in this Newcastle United lineup. Sean Longstaff has done wonderful things for this football club. There's no doubt about that. But he looks knackered. He looks a spent force. He's not the same player he was last season. For me, Louis Miley's been better than Longstaff for a good few weeks now. Elliot Anderson is a better player than Sean Longstaff. It's only fitness that's holding them back. So again, very similar to the Lewis Hall situation, which is maybe going to be forced on Eddie Howe, just given the lack of players in those positions. Elliot Anderson has to start this game, Eddie. Let's start on the front foot. Let's try and win this game in the first 60 minutes before we chase it for the last 30. And for me, Elliot Anderson has to start this game. In the front three, with Anthony Gordon being suspended because of that silly red card or double yellow. We have brought in Harvey Barnes to start on the left-hand side with Isak through the middle, who was excellent against West Ham. He was looking like the Isak that we all know and love. 14 goals in 18 Premier League appearances. Absolutely sensational. If Isak hadn't been injured as he has been this season, I think he'd be over the 20-goal mark. He'd be pushing Haaland close for the golden boot. He really, really would. Jacob Murphy on the right-hand side. I think Murphy looked excellent when he dropped in a right back as well. That could be an option too. You never know. Maybe Jacob Murphy right back, but I just don't think we have the midfield cover to play somebody out on the right-hand side with the injury to Almiron. So I do think that Murphy will go on the right-hand side of that front three with Barnes on the left. Barnes, an unbelievable cameo at the weekend. Goal machine. This kid is such a clinical finisher. He really is. And again, if we can start this game strong, get right in Everton's faces, get one or two in front, they won't get back in this game. They really, really won't. They're sitting in 16th in the Premier League. Yes, they've been docked points, but they're not a fantastic side. They really aren't. They haven't got a lot of great players. And if we really start on the front foot and go at these lot and get 2-0 up, I can't see them coming back. I really, really can't. In terms of the Everton lineup and the Everton team news, again, I think they're missing a couple of players there. I think they're hopeful that Milenko can recover to play at full back there, which means either Coleman or Godfrey will drop out. I think Calvert-Lewin may drop to the bench. Wow, how far he's fallen, by the way. Jesus, I remember we were linked with him a while ago. But the Everton lineup, looking at Sportsmore here, they're thinking they're going to go Pickford, Coleman, Tarkowski, Branthwaite, who's a really good player, especially with the injuries to Botman and Lascelles. Maybe Newcastle will be looking at Branthwaite in this game. He's going to cost you a lot of money, but I think he's a really, really good centre-half, and that could be somebody that could solve our problems next season, I think, and maybe a long-term successor to Fabian Schär in the long run. Milenko at full-back there. Jack Harrison, who could be dangerous, but again, if you're playing Lewis Hall with his pace, I think you'll deal with him really well. Onana, who's another player we've been linked to. Garner, who's a decent player. Decore. Dwight McNeil, who can still cause some bother. He did cause some bother as in a previous fixture. And Beto up front, who I think is dog shit, really, to be fair. He scored a very opportunistic goal against Bournemouth. And that was Everton's game, unfortunately for them, at the Easter Saturday. Was they lost 2-1 in the 94th minute. I think it was a Dominic Solanke goal, so Bournemouth beat them at the Vitality 2-1. Obviously, we won right at the death, really, in terms of what we were doing in our fixture. So two very contrasting results for the two teams. But on paper, Newcastle are rated Everton 16th. We're 18 points clear of them. Yes, they've had a deduction. You got to throw that into the mix as well. But Everton aren't a great side, and Newcastle should be buoyed with confidence after that brilliant win against West Ham. And the fact that this is at St James's as well. Yes, we've got injuries. Yes, we've got suspensions. The squad is way for thin. It really, really is. But with that confidence and with that side that we've just put up on the screen there, I'm confident Newcastle can get the job done in this one. It'll be tight. I think we'll win this game 2-0. I'm going to go for 2-0 to Newcastle United. I think if we start on the front foot, we get our business done in the first half, or the first hour of the game, then that'll be too much for Everton to come back, in my opinion. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think about the lineup, what you think about the result. Do you think this is going to be a tougher game than we were anticipating? I was more worried about the West Ham game personally than I was about the Everton game. I just don't think Everton are that good of a side. I think that, if the goal go down, the heads really drop, and I just don't think they'll have enough quality to cause as much problems. There is the odd player who can cause you some problems. Jack Harrison's capable of a thunder bastard from distance, as is Dwight McNeil. And Onana solid in midfield as well. And Decore can cause you some trouble. So they have got some players who can show up, but I just think that under Sean Dyche, that they try to defend and drop deep. And I think that's what they'll do. They'll sit back and they'll want Newcastle to come on to them and press them. And they'll just try and soak up and then maybe try and hit us on the break. But I think if Newcastle are clinical and those big players show up, Harvey Barnes has got shooting boots on again like you had on Saturday. Isak continues that form that we showed on Saturday as well. Murphy looked dangerous, putting a good few crosses as well. Bruno's up for it. If the big players show up for Newcastle, like I said against West Ham, they can win this game for us and they can get us 6 points, which is fantastic if, for these first 2 of 10 massive games to try and get us into a European position. But let us know what you guys think about all of that. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Even Everton fans, you're welcome as well. We're always welcome. Have a bit of chat with everybody. No abuse in the comments. That's all we say. If you're a prick, you'll get the flick. That's basically what we say. But, just have a good chat in the comments. It's a good channel for us, a good community for it. And if you haven't already, smash subscribe. We'd love you to come and join us. Like I say, we're close to 7,000 subs. Loads of room for you and ever more. Like the video. Help the channel grow. I will not be here for the post-match review, unfortunately, because of my day job calls. I will be away, but I will be finding a nice boozer somewhere to watch this game. I think it's live on TNT Sports for anybody who isn't going to get to the game. Mark will be here for post-match analysis, so make sure you check him out and give him some love and hit the likes when he's on the stream as well. But we will be back for what's going on tonight. Loads to unpack. My word, that's going to be a bumper show. Loads of stuff to talk about the West Ham game and amongst other things as well. So keep it evermore, guys. We'll catch you soon. Have a bella. See you later.